everything is about power. Everything is about oppressor, oppressed. And that's a theory that a lot of people prescribe, and they love that idea because then their hopelessness gives them an identity, I guess, and it gives them a position of perpetual victimization.
I don't know what would be stranger, the fact that you're 22 with that fear or that you're 22 being dropped off by the babysitter.
Babysitter was hot. I think what people accept as happiness is the absence of pain and the lack of anxiety. Imagine, if you will, a life where your cigarette is more important than your child, where liquor is more loved than anyone else in your life. Welcome to the Stair Pit Zone. Okay, great. Generally, we just walk into it very slowly.
Very timidly.
Yeah, that's it. Good day. Hi, how are you? Today on a special episode of the Stair Pits podcast, I'll pretend that I'm Mr. Rogers. Welcome to my neighborhood. And today I have my friend Max. Max, how are you today? You look wonderful in your hat.
Thank you, Mr. Rogers. I appreciate it.
I think it's wonderful to be in here. Is that a happy hat?
It is a happy hat, and it is a wonderful day in your neighborhood, sir.
That's it. Well, I like shapes. What shape do you like?
I'm more of an obtuse kind of guy.
Mm-hmm. I like the way you say obtuse. Obtuse.
You say it better than I do, so.
I have years of practice.
Yes, you do.
All right. So that doesn't scare anybody from not watching the show. It's going to be hard.
Lost half the audience in the first 30 seconds.
That's the first 30
Perfect.
seconds. And anybody that is watching it, my God, please turn yourself in.
Hey, congratulations.
Yeah.
If you made it past that.
You just shouldn't. I mean, the answer is please get a life.
Beautiful.
That's all I can say. That's it. But no, it is exciting to be here. We just get it over with. Buy the book. It's a great book. Buy the book.
100%.
Blah, blah, blah.
Unbreakableorigins.com. Stair Pits out now. R.A. Thompson is the author.
Hey, great show.
Thank you. See, that's it.
That's it. Perfect. Thanks for being here today. So I was thinking about this the other day. I actually did come up with a mild thought for today.
Okay. Wow.
Which is frightening.
Yes, it is.
Because sometimes I come ill prepared. But today, prepared.
Yes.
That was one of the things. We actually have Mallory running the board and the cameras today. So generally, Caleb used to say, well, what are you guys going to talk about? And I'd say, I don't care. We'll just make something up. And he doesn't even ask. Mallory, I guess, has been beaten down not to even care.
There you go.
So I was thinking about this. As you know, and as perhaps people that watch the podcast know, one of my favorite things is looking at words and that people don't necessarily know what the words mean, but they like to use them.
Yeah.
Right. So like, for instance, Telefunken U47. It's a German microphone, but it sounds really cool. It sounds really cool.
I've never heard of that word, so that was impressive.
It's pretty cool. It was
Yes.
it was actually in a Frank Zappa song that was rather
Really?
obscure. It was just a throwaway lyric.
Yeah.
And this was in the days when you couldn't look it up online. So you actually it took me like about 6 months to figure out what it was.
Yes.
But after that, got that one squared away.
Gotcha.
I've actually thought about buying one just to have it.
Okay. There you go. Well, I mean, you already speak German.
Well, yeah, parts of it. Yeah,
So-
I can do Vistage Figegen und Vita for those of you that
There you
I
go.
get half dozen words. They're pretty good. But one of the words I thought about the other day, and it's kind of an interesting thing to chat about, and the word is happiness. What do you think? Well, let me ask to you, what is happiness?
Anytime the Texans, Rockets, or Astros win a sporting event, win whatever sporting event they are participating in, if any one of my pro teams, excuse my language, and the Las Vegas Golden Knights, okay, anytime any one of my 4 major sports professional teams wins their sporting event, that's happiness for me.
Does Houston have a WNBA team?
They are getting one. Did you see this?
No.
The Connecticut Sun are getting bought by Tillman Fertitta, the guy who owns the Rockets, and he's bringing them back. He's bringing them not back to Houston, but there were the Houston Comets, apparently back in the day, back in the mysterious day when nobody watched WNBA.
So that's like yesterday?
Yeah, about a month ago.
Yeah, right.
That's awful. There was the Houston Comets. Anyways, the Connecticut Sun's being bought by the guy who owns the Houston Rockets because he wants to bring them back to Houston and remake the Comets. So starting next WNBA season, there will be a WNBA team in Houston.
So isn't that a little bit sexist?
Back in Houston.
Calling them the Comets, isn't that like totally sexist?
Probably.
Well, I mean, it's like a cleaning thing, right? I mean, that'd be
I don't know how many
towels.
people use Comet anymore, but I understand the rev. What would you call them if they said, Robert, we need you to choose the name for the WNBA team coming to Houston?
The tax dodges, because they're going to write the loss off. That's what I would use them.
That's perfect.
Yeah, the tax dodges.
Beautiful. Yes.
They'd be called the TDs, and people might think it was football and accidentally watch it.
100%. Yeah. Hey, there you go. Okay. And the NBA team that's coming to Vegas, what do you got for them? I mean, because the Aces are already there.
We're getting another one?
NBA team, the men.
Well, I would call them the who cares.
Okay.
No, that's kind of my
Perfect.
general feeling. It's just the who cares.
And just have their logo be a question mark.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. There is a band, we can put this in potentially in post-production, called Question Mark and the Mysterians.
Oh, wow.
And they're lone single, 96 Tears.
Really? Wow.
Then you could play 96 Tears at every game.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
That's their main theme song.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I I view it as I just don't see how it's going to work. I would look at it this much. If I was the guy on the Rockets team,
yeah,
or the Comets team, whatever they're going to be, just write it off today. I mean, don't even bother to open it up,
Fair.
Move them to another city. That'd be the first thing I would do.
They're trying to bring all the major sports back to Houston, right? The WNBA, I know the NHL wants to expand there. Yeah. Then we got football, basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer, and women's basketball as well. So,
what about jousting?
I think that's still more of an overseas issue.
Kind of think so.
Yeah,
and
I think so.
Maybe a couple centuries ago.
Probably.
Yeah,
yes.
But it still is a fun sport.
Absolutely, for sure. Like, I mean, I think we'd probably get fencing and cricket over here before jousting.
Maybe.
But just my take.
You're just a hater.
I am, absolutely.
Yeah.
Of the sports that are predominantly white, 100%.
Yeah. Well, jousting, I think, works for everyone.
Not a lot of brothers hopping on the back of a horse, spearing each other with sticks. So.
I mean, just seems like you're diminishing. Why am I sticking up for your race? Dude,
I don't know.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you're the one that's, dude, this is what it is. Any young black man out there today, think about this. You on top of a horse with a large stick, running at a high speed, trying to hit the other person in the chest and knocking him off. That's your dream, brother. Follow it.
No more drive-by shootings. Joustings.
Jousting. Much better. Joust out, baby.
Is
Joust
what it's
out.
going to be. Okay.
Yeah.
I've completely derailed this podcast. Happiness
is
where you were at.
Yeah.
We're going to have to cut the last 10 minutes of this.
No. It's
Happiness.
Really pretty good. No, it's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Happiness. Yeah.
For me, just watching the sports team win, eating my favorite food, doing simple things in life. Happiness, because I believe happiness and joy, two separate things. So happiness for me is just, like I said, getting to eat a good pizza, getting to eat Italian food at Ferraro's, watching my favorite sports. That to me is just happiness.
So joy is also like a dishwashing cleaner, isn't it? So like you keep bringing up like all these. That'd be a good name for the Houston team too, the Comets of Joy. They could be like the clean plates.
The cleanest arena in sports.
Yes. Made that way, MAID.
Yeah. Hey, built-in sponsors.
No, dude, I just.
My gosh.
Surprising they haven't hired us.
Seriously.
Spectacular.
Jeez.
Yeah. Make sure that whenever doing on post-production, take all these clips and just tag them onto the WNBA.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, see if they can see if they'll repost these.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. Yeah, particularly the part where I said jousting was more viable.
100%. Yeah.
We'll get a lot of people on that.
Yep.
So
what is happiness to you then, Robert?
I think that way to try to get us back on track.
Absolutely,
that was actually
100%.
very good. I think that happiness is, like many things, it's a spectrum. And I think one of the problems with happiness is the bottom tier of happiness. I think what people accept as happiness is the absence of pain and the lack of anxiety. If you would ask most people, well, how are you? Well, I'm happy. Why? Oh, well, I'm not feeling pressure. I'm not feeling anxiety. I'm not feeling whatever it might be, and I'm not in pain, and that's good enough. And I don't think that that's happiness. I think that's relief.
I would agree.
But
Yes.
but the fact that happiness has been dumbed down to the lack of pain and the lack of anxiety, if that's your threshold for happiness, then by all means, we don't need any antidepressants ever.
100%.
Because, you can get the same thing by just taking a lot of aspirin. And you can just, you'll rot a hole in your stomach, but it seems like it's a good deal.
Yes.
But I find that to be kind of a bizarre thing versus if anybody wanted to go back through what we previously just talked about. I would say that when you and I were riffing on whatever it was, I would say we were happy.
Yes, I agree.
And I think that happiness comes from interaction with something or someone to achieve something. Happiness comes when a goal has been achieved, and whether the goal is identified or just a goal of opportunity, that I think that's what actually happiness is. And I think that once you have that understanding, maybe of, let's say, that happiness is a bit of a spectrum, and at the bottom we have, and we should probably do this for the people at home, because the people at home are going to read it this way to this way, or I'm going to read it this way to this way. So at this side of the
way
thing,
to cater to your audience.
That's it.
Yes.
Or if we were doing it in Hebrew, then we would be reading it this way, but it doesn't seem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but assuming that the one that we send to Israel, we'll recut it.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think our reach is quite there yet. So
close though.
We're working though.
Yeah.
Yep.
I tell you, when the Comets of Joy play there, we'll probably be at the tip off.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it. Yeah. But but no, if you look at it, if one level down here is the absence of pain and no anxiety, if that's the low end of the beginning of happiness, maybe the preamble to happiness, and then actual happiness is the creative expression of being with people, the celebration of a goal, or the recognition of creation, I would say would be happiness.
Yeah.
That if you look at like a child's first step makes everybody happy.
Yeah.
And that's because it's an accomplishment. It's a recognition of an accomplishment that goes into it. And that's a happiness that lasts forever.
Yes.
If your threshold for happiness is no pain, no anxiety, then, is there on the vast plain that might be, in Travis or Harris County, that there might not be. Do you know what the highest point in? I don't either.
200 feet?
Maybe 200 feet. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So in all of that, in that county, if you're going to be using, this idea, this dumbed down version of happiness, there is no high point in there.
Yeah.
It's like, well, the top of Yao Ming would have been the high point of happiness.
Pretty much. Yes.
Yeah. And if like somebody would have been standing, if Ralph Sampson would have been standing on his shoulders, it'd been really high.
Ralph Sampson, that's a hell of a pull right there.
Right, well, I was alive when it happened.
Hey, number one pick in the 1983 NBA draft.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly.
Out of Virginia.
Yep. Right.
See, weird. That's the only thing I bring to the table, just weird sports facts no one cares about.
He played with Rudy Tomjanovich.
I did not know that one.
What's Rudy Tomjanovich's claim to fame?
I've heard the name, but I don't know why.
He was the guy that in a fight with the Lakers got into a fight, and Kermit Washington was a guy from UCLA, big, strong-looking black dude.
Okay.
Comes into this fight, and Tomjanovich just sees him out of the corner of his eye, and Kermit's running at him, real dark black dude. Tomjanovich just turns up and punches him in the face and knocks him out.
Wow.
And it was like, this whole concept that, white on black violence was
sure.
there. And my
Yes.
general thought is, you see something big, scary running at you, and you don't know what the hell's happening.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to figure out what he's doing to me. I'm doing on to him before he does on to me.
Absolutely. Yep.
So that would have been the answer.
Okay. Look at that.
Yeah, but I think in that idea that's one concept of happiness. But I think that there's a lot of things that underpin this concept of false happiness. And that's kind of what I'd like to think about a little bit today. Do you think, well, let me ask you this. If people had the opportunity to be happy, and we'll use happy today of using the example of being without anxiety and without pain, okay, that version of happiness, choice A, happiness, choice B, go on some adventure, some amazing adventure that will be unknown, difficult, just shocking. Let's say like bringing a WNBA team from Connecticut to Houston, something greater than that, something truly grand. Okay. Which one do you think they would take?
Just the average person?
Yeah.
Probably option A.
Yeah.
Simply because there's a lot less unknown. There's a lot fewer variables to run through, right? Not a ton of, I would say, less risk takers today than say back in your day, right? Just because a lot of people, like you said, want to live in that space of comfort, confinement. I want to kind of stay in my lane, just kind of be in my space and not have anybody disturb it. Again, hearkening back to social media, it's simply just an echo chamber of what we believe, right? You're always going to find all the people who agree with you and hate everybody else who doesn't. So basically, it's like everybody wants to live in their bubble and they don't want to be disturbed. They don't want to face the unknown. They don't want to face tons of willingly face trials, tribulations, some possible suffering on an unknown journey. Okay. So I think many people would choose option A over option B, or I would say more than 50% would choose the comfortable version rather than, hey, high risk adventure with possible high reward and happiness, things of that nature. That's just how I see it.
What's another thing is you're saying that brought another thought on. We can ask Mallory, who's hiding behind the board over there. Ms. Mallory, do you think it's a male-female thing? Do you think women would pick, lack of pain, lack of anxiety versus adventure? Or do you think it's, how do you think that breaks out, speaking, for all women?
That's a lot of weight. Adventure.
You would pick adventure?
Yeah, most of our life is pain anyway, so
Yeah.
deal with it.
That's it. Do you feel that if you were a member of the WNBA, you would have the same feelings, or?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just wondering. That would be it. Okay, good. And
I would scrub with joy.
you would scrub. That would be the right answer.
Hey,
See, this is it. That was. Thank you for adding that. That was a great answer. Way to beat me to it.
This is going to evolve into a strict just a WNBA podcast.
It really is. It's like every other one we've ever done.
Exactly. We're going to become the guys who debate, Sophie Cunningham, Caitlin Clark, Asia Wilson.
Well, here's a good question. Why should they bother to shave their legs?
Oh, my gosh.
Okay. That's the next one. We'll
So we found the topic for the next show.
That's really going to be
Okay,
it. Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. This one I'll probably get all 7 or 8 people that have ever watched the
100%.
show. They're all canceling it down. It's going to be terrible. But this is really good. Yep. Okay, but I think that there is that sense that I think that you're right. I think a lot of people have been so placated down to doing nothing that they accept a low end of happiness. But I think that also goes into another concept that, like, are you familiar with the concept of homeostasis?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Just simply because of cells.
Right, yes, and that's what it is. It's just some sense of equilibrium.
Mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell.
Dude, you are really good.
6th grade biology.
No, dude, no. This is where you talk about Snow College or Utah Tech.
Sorry. I'm not hyping up Cedar Ridge Middle School. My bad.
Okay, yeah. So try that again.
Sorry. Mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell. Okay. Thank you, Snow College, and thank you, Utah Tech University. If you would like a formidable education, something that carries you throughout the world, and eventually you end up in this chair doing a podcast like this, go to Utah Tech or go to Snow College. Go Badgers, go Trailblazers.
That's it. Good
Whole
job.
deal.
No, congratulations. That was really good. It's much better. Much better.
Yeah,
promo
that
for
should be their next commercial. You see, like the logo commercials.
Oh
they
no,
do?
that should be.
That
it.
should be cut in there.
That's it. Yeah,
Yep.
That's right. Learn how to host a podcast.
100%.
Yeah. Whole
Experience diversity.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
It's all there. But but I think that, that idea of, do organisms achieve some sense of homeostasis or some sense of, let's call it, a maximum or a perfect neutrality? Is there such a thing as a perfect normal? And is that what things want? Or should things be on an incline to try to get like optimum improvement, of constantly trying to improve, trying to do more than safe or more than normal?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, and I don't know. I mean, it's like you can convince me that in the single-celled animal world, achieving homeostasis is a hell of an idea.
Absolutely. Yes.
But on the other hand, they can't think.
Yeah.
Right? Much like the person that buys season tickets for the Comets of Joy. Like, what were they doing? They just had too much money. Okay, so...
But not enough to sit courtside.
Yeah, but not enough to sit court. Yeah, to do anything else. Yeah, I mean, they could have bought like a KFC super box and come home, but they didn't. It's just bad decision making. It happens. But
them, instead of wasting their hard-earned money, instead of putting it into food, right? Your parents, like what happens in stair pits. Okay.
Right.
Spend it on liquor and alcohol and cigarettes. Right. These people are simply saying, hey, I'd rather buy season tickets for the Comets than eat tonight. Okay. So their vice is simply WNBA.
Right.
Whereas, as you can read here in Stair Pits, the book that you wrote about your life and your parents and things like that.
In a time before the WNBA.
In a time before the WNBA even existed. People didn't have the option to spend money on season tickets for the WNBA. If they wanted to waste it, it had to be on cigarettes and alcohol and different things.
There's no such thing as the Memphis Grizzlies.
Nope. They probably were the Vancouver Grizzlies. They probably weren't even in Vancouver at that time.
Vancouver wasn't Canada hadn't even been discovered yet. It's terrible.
Absolutely.
They say, what they call that up there? I don't know.
Yeah.
Somebody said, what about Canada?
Absolutely.
We did it.
Yes.
Great.
There's your other tie to the book.
Yeah, the other tie. Yes. Good. No, that's a good job. Way to bring the book in.
Appreciate it.
I like that we're bringing the book in more. I mean, since we've talked about.
Since the title of the podcast is about the book.
Well, we're going to change it to the WNBA.
100, yes. Yeah, we are quickly transitioning here to a WNBA podcast.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's going to be really good. But I think that idea of, successful, happy people, I think, have the capacity to do more than the perfect normal. You actually have to do more, because the fact that life and everything that happens is so unknown. I mean, what happens next is so unknown that if you're living at this level and you think that it's always going to be like this, that is failure. Because the first time that it isn't perfect and now all of a sudden, you don't have food or, whatever's going on, you can't deal with it. Well, now you're doomed. Now it's no longer this idea of perfect or, optimized normal. is no longer optimized normal. Now it's pathetic normal.
Yeah.
And then perhaps going from pathetic normal back up to where normal used to be maybe is this illusion of happiness. But conceivably, if you were doing something, if you were building something out, then you would have had built in enough that you could have made it through the high and the low. You could have made it through the trough. Right? And I think that's the problem. In addition to that, I think is that if you look at the extra effort to make it to the high point is good, but then it teaches you that you can in fact do more. Then if things go down and you're down here, you know that whatever you did to come up here, that same idea will get you out of the trough versus now I'm down here. And if all you know how to do is to do this, then you just accept the new bottom. Right?
Yes.
And I think that what's missing from a lot of people is what is their motivation? If their motivation is to live in isolation and to never challenge or test or to try things, then whatever is happening on the inside of their brain is just, you're not wired to do that. I mean, you're not wired to sit there quietly and to do nothing forever.
Yeah.
There's a huge difference between, like, have you ever seen like an alligator and a wild alligator, an alligator and
Yeah.
Okay. And they're amazing creatures in that they're large, and at a certain level, you don't initially see them. I mean, it's not like they're bright yellow or something, that are there. They're just kind of inert. And then all of a sudden, holy shit, there's an alligator.
Yeah.
Right. And then if you're stupid enough to get even closer to the alligator, well, so like when I was very young, I would be dropped off at the DeYoung Museum, which is a museum in San Francisco. And they have the California Academy of Sciences is right next to it. And sometimes I'd go in there. And they had alligators. And the alligators were in this little like pen that was low and you could look at them from above. And because it was cold, the alligators never moved. Like I'd go in there for about 3 years. I'd go in there during the rainy time, maybe 40, 50 days a year, I would be in that building.
Wow.
And I would be staring at the alligators. And one of the reasons that I was in there was that's where the babysitter would drop me off for the day. And I used to go in and look at the fish, but there was a woman who was a singer named Ella Fitzgerald, and she could break glass with her voice, and it had to be amplified. But all I could think about was like going where the fish were, where the sharks were. All these kids would scream and they would hit high notes. And my thought was they would break the glass. Then the broken glass would cut people. Then the sharks would go into a frenzy. And I would be like, all these fish and sharks would be eating me.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. I had a legitimate terror of it.
Oh, yeah. And how old are you at this time?
22. But it was, no, I was like kindergarten.
Yeah. I don't know what would be stranger, the fact that you're 22 with that fear or that you're 22 being dropped off by the babysitter.
Babysitter was hot. No, the
Okay,
babysitter.
go ahead,
No,
yes.
the babysitter wasn't hot.
Okay.
And I was like in kindergarten.
Nice. Okay. Good.
So anyway, so I would just sit and would stare at the alligators, right? And I would just stare at them forever, trying to determine if they were real or if they were fake.
Yeah.
Okay. I never saw them move.
Yes.
So, but the alligator is, kind of an ambush predator in its own way. And I decided that I would out-ambush the ambush predator by just waiting for it. And sometimes I would just turn my head away and come back thinking that they're seeing me and they're going to move when I'm not there.
Yes.
So I'd kind of do one of these,
Yep.
but it never moved.
Yeah.
Then when I moved to Phoenix, when I lived in Phoenix, they had an alligator exhibit there and it was warm. So they had a big like lagoon kind of a thing, a big pond, and they had alligators in it. And then they had a little walkway out to a gazebo that was in the middle of it. And so like I'm out there and all of a sudden the alligators are moving. And it's like amazing. And I'd go there and I would just watch the alligators move. And the thing that I noticed was like the alligator would be sitting there like this, right? And little fish would come by and the fish would be kind of like doing this, kind of a Dory thing, And then they would get near the alligator and they would freeze up and they would just go by with the fins like this because they didn't want any attention from the alligator, so they're going by like this. But occasionally what would happen is there'd be like a less bright fish and and the next thing the alligator, and it just eaten the damn thing. And it was like just spectacular.
That was spectacular what you just did.
Well, I've spent years
impressive.
working on it, huge impact on
Method actor.
Method acting,
Okay.
yes, that's exactly what it is. But when that first time I saw that happen, I took like 2 steps back, just totally freaked out because it was like right beneath me, So I took 2 steps back. I tripped over a baby carriage, hit the railing on the other side of this thing, and had my arm hanging down, and there was another crocodile right over here. And I'm thinking the damn thing could have ripped my damn arm off. And so here's an example. I could have found somebody to date that I could have brought there and been holding her hand and looking at the alligators. Instead, I'm doing it by myself. Idiot. Okay. Why in the hell am I looking at alligators?
Yeah.
Idiot. Okay. Why am I leaning this far over to get an even closer look at the alligators? Idiot. Okay. Why did I back up quickly? Natural self-defense. Okay. Then I had like a huge bruise here from where I bumped into the thing and my arms over to the side. And then I had this incredible amount of sanity that I didn't have to look at alligators as closely anymore.
Wow.
So I learned that.
An impressive realization of life.
Yeah, at that time I did learn that. I was around 20 when I learned that.
Okay, gotcha.
But
yes.
that was, actually I was closer to 19. I was about 19 when I learned that. But I did learn that I didn't have to be obsessed about alligators or crocodiles.
I love it.
One of the things that you'll find is that if you can lose that obsession right into jousting, young man, follow that dream.
Yes, and if you don't die in that, you have the opportunity to get married and become rich and successful like you are.
Yeah, or something like that. Or
something along those lines.
Yeah, eventually
right?
you can own a WNBA team.
Hey, I don't know why you're not trying to invest in the Comets that are coming to Houston.
Well, the thing is,
now.
I was thinking about it. We could also name them Tide or All or Cheer.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of all the other soaps that we could.
I'm sure the other half of your brain's just been churning through different cleaning products. Yes.
Yeah.
I want to harken back to your homeostasis thesis for a minute. And I was thinking, us as human beings, are we ever truly in homeostasis? Because in my head, it's like, okay, everybody who's not at the top, whatever you consider the top, is fighting to get to the next level above where they are at, right? And the people at the top, right, the richest people in the world, are every single day fighting to stay there. So everybody is in a fight constantly, no matter what. It harkens me to a Family Guy quote by Brian Griffin, okay? The talking dog, okay? I assume you haven't seen Family Guy, okay? Wow, that was damn good. Harkens me to a quote by Brian Griffin where he says, in life in general, us as people, even though he's not a person, we naturally suck up to those above us, crap on those beneath us, and try and kill our equals in order to limit the competition at the level that we are currently at. Okay? So because we are constantly in a fight, no matter what, because when you're at the top, you're simply just fighting to stay there every single day. And then if you're not there, you are trying to beat everyone at your level and rise to the next one to fight that next challenge. Are we ever truly in homeostasis, in your opinion, as human beings? Because no matter where we're at in the druthers of life, we are fighting a battle to either stay at the top or rise to the level that is above us.
I think that's a really interesting question. It's very good. It's one of the reasons why you're an excellent co-host. I would say that kind of goes into the theory of the crab pot theory. Have you ever heard that before?
I've not. I don't know this one.
So, you know what a crab is?
Yes. I watched a lot of SpongeBob, Mr. Krabs.
Yeah, right. That's
Yes.
it. But yeah, so crab pots say this, that you have a pot full of crabs and the crabs will come to the side and they'll try to climb out. And then one will get up near the top and then the crab behind it will grab it and pull it down and then take over the position. And then the next crab pulls it out and they never get out, but they get really, really close and the next one just pulls it down. And that the thing is, the quote nouveau Marxist today takes the crab pot theory and kind of what you described as this concept that there's never any chance to evolve, there's never any chance to do more, and that everything is about power, everything is about oppressor, oppressed, right? And that's a theory that a lot of people prescribe, and they love that idea because then their hopelessness gives them an identity, I guess, and it gives them a position of perpetual victimization. Okay? What I would suggest is that the most successful people rarely do anything by themselves. It's by the capacity to collaborate with others. Right? And it comes into the idea that, for instance, we're designed to see utility and then we assign names to things, right? So like if you came, when you come in here and you see a chair and the microphone, you would recognize, okay, well, there's lights here, so somebody should, we're going to do something. The lights are here, we'll sit in the chair. The microphone is going to be here where we can talk about it, and it's kind of known what to do, right? And if you'd have come in here today and there would have been a llama, you would have thought, well, today, Robert's probably going to talk about llamas, and he probably bought a WNBA team and is going to put them in the Duluth Llamas, which would be a great team.
That would be a hell of a team.
It really would be.
Yes.
The only other team name that I would go with would be the Aardvarks, because Aardvarks and llama are two animals that have double letters in the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I thought you were just thinking of obscure animals.
No. I was trying to go with double letters to begin with. So, but let's say the llamas. I don't think the women would want to be known as the anteaters.
For sure. Yes.
Because, if they're llamas, they can spit on the people they don't like.
Yes.
If they're the anteaters, they're just sticking out their tongue a lot.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not the same. It doesn't work.
Spitting makes a little more of an effect.
I think it's more fearful of them.
Absolutely.
And then we could give like eye patches or something because you don't want to get...
Absolutely. Yes.
See, that's why you will never go to my WNBA team.
100%.
The Lady Llamas. See,
yes.
dude, that's going to be on our shirts. No Max Christensen the third.
Absolutely.
This guy. And
yes.
just a picture of you. That's what our logo is going to be. But the that idea that, I would say our relationship, our friendship, is based upon the utility that we provide to each other. We have the capacity to create. We have the capacity to explore. We have the capacity to appreciate and then to share different things that we have. So by you explaining things to me, it gives me a chance to correct you and tell you how you're wrong. And then you have a chance to, I have a chance to show you that I'm right. So the relationship works just perfectly.
You threw me a curveball. Right? I didn't know that's where that was going. Hey, that was
I'm sorry,
good.
I shouldn't have said that
That
part
was
out loud.
good.
No, I shouldn't have said that part out loud. But no,
Yes.
but I think it is that thing, though, that, that we can talk about things, we can share things on it, we can drill down, we can find unique, interesting understandings that heighten our capacity to understand other things going forward.
Yes.
Right. So the utility is a fellow explorer, a fellow observer, and a person that can provide a unique or an additional, either contradictory or reinforcing opinion on something. And that the relationship works in a way that we can both be wrong and accept the fact that, we're not going to be belittled, at least to our faces.
Yeah.
And that's because I know that when you and what's his name talk about me, it's like, God, it's terrible. He sends me the tapes a lot of times.
Oh, good.
He wants you out of here. He wants to sit in the chair.
100%.
We just need a bigger chair.
Bigger chair.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. That's some weights for him to do something. He's bored.
Do some curls while he sits here.
Must get stronger.
Yes.
Very strong.
Yes.
But no, I think that, there's a utility of being able to work with people to a goal. And I think that when your concept is that, your sense of happiness is lack of pain, lack of anxiety, that there's no necessity in there to cooperate. Right? There's no to be able to work with somebody or to, to try to build something out with somebody, So as a result, I think that that's where a lot of it comes from. That if you look at, look at the concept of what's the sport where they kick the ball with their feet? Soccer. Yeah, that was it. I knew.
Oh.
Yeah, that one.
I thought you were talking about football.
Possibly. I don't know. They have different names. But so this was the other thing that was funny about that. The other night I was watching it because I have this new theory I don't know if I talked about this in the other podcast, but the thing I like to do in watching the World Cup is I look at the relative populations of each country and then figure out how come this country has this many more people that they don't beat the crap out of them.
USA versus Belgium just the other day.
30-1.
Is that what the ratio was?
30-1.
30 Americans to 1 Belgium?
Yeah. And we couldn't.
Belgian? So
I think they're referred to as fat, lazy Belgian bastards, is I think what they're actually known as. But they might have like Sprouts or the Phlegm. They have a bunch of different names for them. But generally, I would just say fat Belgians is probably what most people refer to them as.
Gotcha.
The waffles, maybe. Mm-hmm. They have different names. Doesn't matter. Or as we like to refer to them, lesser white people.
Yeah, yes.
That's kind 100%. Of it. We don't acknowledge them. They're just terrible.
Yeah.
The nice thing is there's only like 10 million of them, so it doesn't matter. Most of them speak Dutch, so they never even know what we're talking about.
Yes.
It's really good, but no.
So I guess we need WNBA / People of the World.
Yeah, right.
Is what this podcast needs to be. From now on.
Bringing the WNBA to Belgium.
Yeah,
yes, be good. That's my whole answer to be really good.
For sure.
We have spending a lot of time finding out what cleaning products are named. Windmill soap is very good. Yeah, this is good. Yeah,
jeez.
But I think that going back to that concept of being able to collaborate with somebody, to be able to grow, to be able to make something work, that's the value of having friends, of being able to work on something. And the most successful people in the world find ways to work with others to accomplish something. And I think that's the secret to it. And people, if they don't understand that, the only way you do learn to understand that is like, think about it in the simplest thing when you started to play sports, with your brothers or something. It was, clear probably in the early days, if you were playing tackle football, that the answer was give it to MC3 and let the guy run straight ahead. And the answer is there wasn't another kid on the block that could tackle you.
Yes.
And so you guys could run a 31 blast all day with just a center and guard. And it's not like any kid's going to get in front of your knees as you're moving.
Yeah.
Right. And that was great. And then later it was, you let Max, rush the passer on a 2 Mississippi count, gets his large condors out there, and you can't pass in the middle, so everybody has to throw outs.
Yes.
Right. And so you learned the other variations of how to be able to deal with that. And you learn how to take your strengths, the other person's strengths, and bring them together. And that unity then, I think, serves as the foundation for happiness, because now that group can create. And if you look at it like in soccer, or you look at it in, true football, when somebody scores, there's incredible elation. And the answer is all the time that you spent on the practice field, all the time that you spent in the gym, all the time that you spent in meetings had finally bore fruit. Yes. It was like when we talked about it earlier, watching a kid take its first steps. Oh my God, look, it's walking.
Yeah.
Isn't that great? And like you always do with all small kids, as soon as they learn to walk, give them a fork, show them what
100%.
Show them what an outlet is,
Yes.
and just see if they're smart enough to not do it.
Yes.
And That's a joke. Don't do it. It's wrong.
For all the young parents and all the young kids watching this, because there's going to be a ton of them, right?
That's right. Oh, yeah.
Don't be sticking stuff in sockets.
That's right.
So
Little Johnny out there wants to become the jouster. Let your brother do it. Okay. And then you can later say in interviews that fueled you to become great.
There you go. So for you in your life, what do you believe is your most successful example of working with someone or multiple people to achieve a greatest goal? What do you think has been the most successful example of that in your life?
I would say my wife, in that
great answer, by the way. Susan's going to love that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
hell yeah, dude.
we do take two now.
Let me give you the real answer.
Yeah, it's the real answer. Yeah. No, I would say it would be my wife, because simply that idea that when I getting married, it allowed me to recognize the value of serving others versus just pursuing whatever thing I wanted to pursue at that time. And one of the problems I had as a non-married person was I would come up with obscure things that I wanted to do, and then I just do them. And I had enough skill to achieve the simple goals, but the problem was the simple goal never meant anything because it had no intrinsic or lasting value, and it had no capacity to radiate any sense of positivity other than the fact that people said I couldn't do it, and I could. And other than neener, ha, 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 I could do it. But there's nothing wrong. I mean, God, neener, it's great.
You've hit a lot of those in your life.
Yeah. If I ever start a women's jousting league, my team is going to be the neeners. And we're going to be spectacular.
And hey, when people are in the stands chanting for your team,
neener.
I mean, like, it's all, talk about just built, I mean, you make it so easy for everyone, whether it's built-in chants, built-in sponsorships.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you allow the infrastructure to just go.
Yeah. The Belgian neeners.
Yeah.
Which,
hey, I think you have a better chance of getting a jousting team in Belgium than a WNBA team, at least for right now.
The answer is this. Once Caitlin Clark moves to Europe because she gets tired of getting beaten up here.
Yeah.
And I get, and when I open my WNBA team in Belgium with her.
Yes. They'll appreciate
the rest
her.
Of them will come.
Yes. Here's the problem too, is after we get done with this podcast, Robert is going to go do some research on what it would take to get a WNBA team and or a women's jousting team in Belgium. Like, this might actually have some traction to it.
Well, actually, I was just thinking of my lady jousting thing on it. Yeah. Okay. So what if you, like the neeners is obviously a great name.
Yes.
Right? But what if you went Lady Godiva?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Semi-nude female jousters.
Yeah. Uh-huh. It's like the lingerie football league?
Yeah.
That they got going here?
Do you know who's the guy behind that?
No.
Gene Simmons of Kiss.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
I did not know that.
Dude.
Wow.
Yeah, but no, yes.
You could be the Gene Simmons of women's jousting. Have to add some face paint. But besides that, hey, there you go. Yep.
There.
Done.
I'm there.
Perfect.
No, it's perfect. No, but I think that idea of, because the Lady Godivas or the neeners as they're known among their friends.
Yes.
Dude, you tell me dudes wouldn't watch the, semi-clothed
for sure
female jousting league.
Be all over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the warm-up. So the match takes 2 seconds. The rest of it is just the girls stretching 100%.
Out. Yeah. Hey, that would take over the international betting circuits.
Oh, no, it'd be wonderful. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Who won? I don't remember.
Exactly.
Yeah, no. See, that's just, it's perfect. A lot of money there.
Yep.
But I think that is the piece, though, that ultimately it comes down to, how do you serve? How do you help somebody else?
Yeah.
And I think that that's so counterintuitive to the crab pot theory that if, your idea is that you'll never get above, you'll never get below, the top are always trying to do more. I mean, if anybody thinks that Elon is trying to do more because he wants more money, no. Elon is trying to do more because he sees something that would be interesting and he wants to see if he can make it happen.
Yes, I agree.
Okay,
Yep.
so that doesn't mean anything to him. Bezos, as he's doing things because he wants to do them, it isn't for more money. I mean,
Yes.
they're not doing it. But the problem is people that don't have something think, oh, well, you're just doing it for that.
Yes.
And if your idea is that, of the 8,000 crabs in the pot, if you're someplace around 7,500 to 8,000, that, you're thinking, well, I'm never even going to get a chance to get pulled down by another crab. So, you've just kind of given up at that point. Well, maybe the answer is, find another crab that isn't doing it and just go over here and be happy and, producing whatever, intimate act that crabs go through to produce more crabs. Just do that and then, eat shrimp or do whatever else the crab do. There was there's a chain of stores when I lived in the Bay, and they used to have crabs. That's where I learned the crab pot theory
Gotcha.
on it.
Okay.
And so they had crabs in one container and they had lobsters in the other one. And they would try to sell them on a per pound basis. So what I noticed was they also had like steamed shrimp
Okay.
that you could buy like in a little like refrigerated thing. And like the shrimp were, let's say, $2 a pound. The crab was like $4 a pound and the lobster was like $6 a pound. So what I used to do is I used to get pieces of shrimp and feed them into the lobster and into the crab things because I thought that would bump up their weight because you're getting something that costs 2 pounds
100%.
and turning it into 4 or 6. So
Yes.
it's like a 2 or 3 multiplier on it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. One of the people saw me when I was doing that and asked me why. I told him I was making him more money.
Yeah.
You've
been a businessman for many years.
Yeah. You didn't think it was as funny as I
Hey,
did.
that's all right.
I just wanted to see if they would eat it.
Yes.
But that was it. I was also trying to convince my brother to put his finger in there to see how
Gotcha.
much it would hurt.
Yeah.
But no, it was,
You're the brother putting the other brother on the socket thing that we were talking about earlier. So
hey, some people are born to supervise.
100%. You probably convinced your brother Billy that the blue fire was cold too, right?
Things like that happen.
Yeah, if there's a blue flame, it's cold.
Hey,
Go touch it.
That's what it is. You'll go look at it. Yeah. I mean, there's all sorts of things.
Yeah.
It doesn't, you have to kind of teach them onto that part on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I did. So just as a last story, because I'm sure we're probably dangerously close to a full episode here. That's a great thing when you have a podcast like this.
A lot of great content in this
A
one.
lot of great content,
So-
absolutely no value.
Hey.
That's really what it is. But no. So we would occasionally have Thanksgiving when my middle brother was, there. And so my uncle, who's in the book, who's extremely funny.
Stair Pits.
Yeah, Stair Pits. Great
Adam
book.
Brable Origins, go buy it now.
Buy book, yeah. And so my uncle was there, whose name is Peter. So in the book, he's HHH, but Peter is what his real name is. So Peter was there, and Thanksgiving was coming up. And so David was sitting there, watching something stupid on television. And Peter and I were there, and I told David, I said, you can't have any dark meat at Thanksgiving. I get all the dark meat. And Peter looks at him and goes, yeah, we get all the dark meat. You don't even think about it. So for like the rest of the day, everything we're telling him. I mean, during the entire, jousting series that we were watching,
Yes.
all we're telling David is you can't have any dark meat. Okay. And David is like, well, I want to try it. Well, you can't do it. So we just keep running it. So a couple weeks later, it's Thanksgiving. So we're sitting down to Thanksgiving. Peter's there, Auntie's there, my mother, me, David. Billy's very young. And Peter only had 2 kids at that point, so 2 Peter's kids are there. My mother brings out the turkey. David says, I dibs all the dark meat. And Peter and I kind of look at him like we're mad. And David's, I love dark meat. So David gets the dark meat.
Yeah.
And, it goes on this plate. Okay. I don't like it that much. Peter doesn't like it that much.
It's not a hill you're willing to die on.
Yeah, I'm not even close to it.
Yeah.
So Peter and I are eating the white meat, and David's just eating the dark meat, and he's happy as hell. So 3 Thanksgivings go by. Every Thanksgiving, David, I dibs the dark meat. I dibs the dark meat. I dibs the dark meat. Peter looks at him like on the 4th one and says, you don't have to dibs the dark meat. You're the only person that likes it. He goes, what do you mean? It's not everybody else likes the white meat. well, you guys said that. And he goes, yeah. And now you believe it.
Yes.
It was.
Yes.
And David tries the dry. It's dry. I don't like it. And I go, well, be happy. I mean, at Thanksgiving, you never have to argue. You'll always get the dark meat.
Yes.
And that's really what it is.
Yep.
And it's like, well, but I don't want it. It's like, hey, dude, you thought you were so clever, ripping us off on something. And,
Yes.
you wound up being the only guy that'll eat it.
Yeah. 100%.
But
Yes.
he wasn't happy.
No.
Which
No.
goes back to, watch us tie it all together.
Yep.
He had anxiety. He had pain.
Yes.
He should have been able to equal it out to become happy. And yet, Peter and I created something
Yes.
funny.
You created anxiety and pain for your brother, led to your happiness. And if you want to hear more stories like what was just told by R.A. Thompson, go buy his book, Stair Pits, out now at unbreakableorigins.com.
Right. That's it. So that's what we have. Thank you, Mallory, for running the board today, giving us feedback on what all women think. I mean, that's the best part. I'll see you at one of the Joyful Comet games.
Or the jousting tournament.
Hey, the Nieners. The Nieners,
Yep.
they're going to be good.
They're on the way.
So that's what it is. Buy season tickets now. Thank you very much.